Are you wanting the Boulder lifestyle, but maybe not want to pay the Boulder prices? Well, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to be going over the top 3 cities surrounding Boulder that I think you should consider. Let's get started. Hi there, Christy Lee here, and I am a local real estate agent in the state of Colorado, but more importantly, I am a native of Colorado. If you're new to my channel, all of my videos are here to help you figure out where the best place to live is. If that's something that interests you, please click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. Now, as much as I love making these videos for you, I love helping you more. So please reach out to me. My contact information is right there. I love hearing from you. All right, so we all know, or most of us know, that Boulder is extremely expensive. In fact, right now in 2023, May of 2023, average price point or house price in Boulder is $1.3 million. And to be perfectly honest, that is not gonna get you like a whole lot. That's gonna give you probably 3-bedroom house built in the 80s. I mean, 2-car garage maybe, but you're really just paying to live in Boulder. Now, if you're anything like myself or anybody I know or work with, people love to visit Boulder. We love being a part of Boulder, but we definitely don't want to pay those Boulder prices. So today, I'm going to be talking about the top 3 cities surrounding Boulder that I think you should consider. All right, so the first one is going to be Erie. Erie is one of my personal favorites. I personally live in Erie and have lived here for almost 10 years or so. Erie is going to be located about 14 miles east of Boulder, and it's going to take roughly 25 minutes or so to get back into Boulder. So we're really not that far out. The reason I love Boulder is Erie is because it still kind of has that Boulder vibe a little bit. One thing I will say about Erie is that it is split as far as the counties are concerned. So you have Weld County and you have Boulder County. So actually it is County Line Road that splits the two. And so notoriously, obviously Boulder is pretty much known for being a little bit more or a lot more liberal. And Weld County is going to be the complete opposite. It's definitely more conservative. But when you live in Erie, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You really don't see a huge divide between the two. And that's why I really like it. You can live here and kind of just do your thing, and it's not super like hippie like Boulder is, or super conservative like some of the other Weld County areas. Another reason I really like this area is that while it is super close to Boulder, you still have you have the downtown area, which is great. And just like Boulder has Pearl Street, they have that whole thing. But we have our little Old Town area as well. So you're gonna have what, three breweries, you have a couple pizza places, wine, happy hour wine area, which is really cute. And then you have all of the festivals and the events that take place on Briggs Street as well. During the summertime, you're gonna have the farmers markets, the concerts in the park, the movies in the park, all of that kind of good stuff. So you still kind of get the whole vibe of a small town feel, but you still kind of get it from what Boulder would actually offer as well. You're just not nearly paying the price of Boulder. Now let's get into the prices. On average, right now, a home price in Erie in 2023 is roughly, what are we at now? $700,000. And that's gonna be getting you pretty much a 3-bedroom home. Actually, a lot of these are gonna be relatively new builds or completely new. On average, if you want something a little bit less expensive, you absolutely could still find it, but it's going to be few and far between, and they definitely will be older. But I will say on average, you're looking at $700 plus to live in the Boulder area. As far as schools are concerned, depending on what side of Erie you're going to be living in, you're either going to be part of the St. Vrain Valley School District, which is going to be more on the Weld County side, or the Boulder Valley School District, which is obviously on the Boulder Valley or Boulder County side. Now, if you live on Boulder County side, there's really only 1, maybe 2 schools within Erie that are going to feed into Boulder Valley. It's very small. Weld County side, St. Vrain, there's a lot more schools out here. So, I mean, again, it's just going to depend on which area you live within Erie. They're both really, really great. Boulder's notoriously known according to niche.com, for being high, like #1 in Denver Metro. And I believe St. Vrain, last time I checked, was roughly 4. So again, depending on where you're going to be at. But I highly recommend Erie. They have a lot of outdoor activities. We have the single track out here, a disc golf out here, a bunch of trail systems that'll actually take you right into Boulder as well. So Erie is going to be my first spot if you don't want to live in Boulder, but you know, still want to live on the outskirts. Okay, so my second city outside of Boulder would be Broomfield. So Broomfield, which I didn't mention about Erie. So Erie is only going to be 14 square miles with a population of about 30,000 people. Broomfield is double that. In fact, they are 33 square miles, and then you have 75,000 people who live there. Broomfield is going to be quite a bit larger. It is only going to be 13 miles away from Boulder, so, you know, kind of the same, roughly 20-25 minutes to get into Boulder, so you are still really close. And in fact, depending on what area of Broomfield you live in, it'll probably take you even less time than that. Broomfield is extremely spread out, so if you're somebody who doesn't want necessarily that small town feel that Erie offers, Broomfield might be a great choice for you. Now, the one downside I feel like Broomfield doesn't have is it doesn't have that main strip area that, you know, Erie has, or the next one I'm going to be talking about has as well, as far as that main downtown area. Broomfield really doesn't have that, but they do have a lot of conveniences for their residents. I mean, you have the rec center, you have shopping, the Flatirons Mall is in Broomfield. So you're going to have a lot of trail systems and parks and all of that good stuff. You just don't have that main downtown area. Now, don't get me wrong, they still do have their festivals and their events with Broomfield. It's just not going to be as tight-knit as some of the other places. Now, the average house price for Broomfield in 2023 is going to be mid-600,000. Now, when I say mid-600,000, that's absolutely true. So you are going to get a little bit less expensive house than, of course, Erie. But that's still going to be probably a 3-bedroom home. And then because Broomfield is so large, it's going to definitely give you a lot different of a variety than, say, Erie would. So 650 is probably going to be, I don't know, late 80s, early 90s, 3-bedroom home. Maybe even a tri-level that could probably get you 650 in Broomfield. If you want something a little bit newer, Broomfield definitely has it. There's a lot of great communities that are going up in Broomfield, but those are going to be pushing that 700 plus price point as well. So, you know, depending on which area of Broomfield you live in, because it is so large, it's really going to determine, or, you know, where your price point is going to be. Now, as far as schools are concerned, Broomfield is actually pretty large, and they're in Broomfield County. So they are in Broomfield County, but their school systems work a little bit different. They feed into Broomfield schools, Boulder Valley schools, Adams 5 schools, and I think a little bit of Jefferson County. So it is, again, going to depend on where you're located. The farther east in Broomfield is probably going to be more of the Adams 5-star. The farther west is going to be roughly more Boulder Valley or even Jefferson County. So, you know, do your research, figure out what is going to be better for your kiddos or your family. If schools aren't even an option or relevant to you, then it really doesn't matter. But because it is so spread out, it is a wide variety of things to research as far as schools are concerned. Okay, my last choice to live in near Boulder is going to be Longmont. Now, Longmont is going to be the largest city that I'm going to talk about. And the reason I picked it is because it's actually more north of Boulder. So we're looking at 15 miles, essentially northwest-ish of Boulder. But it still kind of has a Boulder vibe depending on where in Longmont you're looking at. It actually has 100,000 people, so it is a much larger, more dense city than any of the other ones we've talked about. It's 30 square miles, so it is going to be a little bit smaller than Broomfield by a little bit, quite a bit larger than Erie, of course. The reason I like this area is because, one, it's growing. Two, especially the western side of Longmont is gorgeous. So you still get the views that you would in Boulder. And you just take the diagonal highway right out of Longmont, and it'll get you right into Boulder in no time. I really like Longmont as well is because they do have a main street. It's actually called Main Street. They have a main street where they have a bunch of cool restaurants, a bunch of cool shopping, little boutiques. They do close down that area every once in a while for parades and things like that. It's just a really cute little area, as well as they do have a whole historic neighborhood area. So that kind of surrounds the whole downtown area as well. So I feel like especially that particular area kind of still gives you that same vibe as Boulder, parts of Boulder. One thing I will say about Longmont though, opposed to Boulder, is that it is in Weld County and is going to be a lot more conservative than, it's in Weld County and Boulder County, but Longmont as a whole tends to be a little bit more conservative than Boulder. So as far as political views, this and that, you still will have the Boulderites, you still will have a liberal view, but they do tend to go a little bit more towards the conservative side just because they are pushing the Weld County side. And that's just notoriously how Weld County works. As far as schools are concerned out there, even though they are in Boulder County out there, they still are part of the St. Vrain Valley School District, same with parts of Erie. So it's still a great school district, again, ranked 4 or 5 out of, the Denver Metro. So it's actually still a really great school district. And another thing I love about Longmont is that its proximity to Rocky Mountain National Park, Estes Park, all of, that west side up there. It's so great. You could get up there in roughly 45 minutes. So if you're somebody who likes to head up to Estes or camp in Rocky Mountain National Park quite a bit, Longmont is going to be a great location for you because it is going to be so close to those amenities out there. All right, so those are my top 3 cities that I think you should at least consider if you want to be close to Boulder but not pay those crazy Boulder prices. Oh, I forgot. The average price point for Longmont is actually going to be $600,000 again in 2023. So it is going to be a little bit less. Again, if you get something more newer or definitely more on the west side, it's going to be a little bit more expensive than that. All right, sorry about that. So let me know if you have any questions regarding any of these 3 cities or even Boulder for that matter. I would love to help you out. Remember to click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. And then to the next video, take care.